Hey guys, this is your morning mobility routine. We're going to do some controlled articular rotations. We're moving in a rotational movement through each joint individually. So we'll attack one joint at a time, get as much range of motion as we can out of that joint while keeping the rest of our body stable. One of the concepts to understand is irradiation. So that's just tensing your body through the rest of your body so that we can just move through one joint. So if I didn't do any irradiation and I did a big circle, I would be moving through my shoulder blades, through my spine, through my hips maybe, to get as big of a range of motion as possible. That's not what we want because that's not targeting that individual joint. So I want you to kind of pretend like you're creating force through the rest of your body, irradiating that force so that everything stays stable. Brace your core, squeeze your glutes, flex your quads. Everything is stable except for the joint that we are isolating. Make sense? Cool. So we're going to start with our neck. So you're going to start by tucking that chin down towards your chest. Scrape your chin across your collarbone. Chin is going to land over on one shoulder. Once it gets there, tip that ear back. Bring that chin up towards the ceiling. Chin lands on the other side. And then scrape that chin down towards your chest. Keep going that direction. Chin scrapes across your collarbone. Chin over towards your shoulder. Tip that ear back. Come up and around. Chin to the other side. Scrape that collarbone. We'll go one more here, and then we're going to switch directions. As you're doing this, try and keep the same pace as me. So we're not going super fast here. If you were to imagine that we have a little bit thicker air than what we currently have, so pretend like the air just got 30% more dense. That's how I want you to move here. And then we'll reverse direction, scrape that chin across the opposite collarbone, chin over that shoulder, tip that ear back, come up and around. So we're not moving fast here. You want to feel every centimeter of that rotation. Good, not leaning forward, not leaning back. We got one more. Perfect. And then we're going to move on to our upper spine. So our thoracic spine is about here. Everything else stays nice and stable. Take your hands across your shoulders. We're going to roll down, try and go one vertebrae at a time, just focusing through that thoracic spine. Rotate to the side, so we're twisting till your elbows point at your hip. Then you're going to side bend, tip that shoulder back, come up and around. Elbows land on the other side. Rotate back to the center. Keep going that direction. 3 times here. If you're standing, try not to send those hips forward as you tilt back and up. Good, then we'll reverse, rotate to the side, tip that shoulder back, come up and around. Good, awesome work. And then we're going to move on to our shoulder blades. I'll face away so you can see them moving. You're going to stick your arms out in front, kind of like a Y, so not straight in front, not out like a T, just kind of out at a Y. You're going to pinch your shoulder blades back and together, depress them down, like you're tucking your shoulder blades back in your back pocket. Let them come forward, let those shoulder blades spread apart. Pull your shoulder blades up towards your ears and keep it going. Pin them back, depress them down, retract them forward, pull them up, back, down, forward, and then we'll reverse it, go forward, down, pinch those shoulder blades together, pull them up. Good. 3 here, going each direction. Awesome. And then we're going to move on to our shoulder joint. So we're not getting our shoulder blade involved, it's just that joint. You're gonna take your palm to face up. It's gonna start coming across your body. Bring it up till your bicep gets up to your ear. When your bicep gets up towards your ear, make sure your elbow is nice and straight. You get to a little sticking point where you can't really go back further. That's where we're gonna rotate our palm to face out. When you get to that sticking point where you can't rotate anymore, then we're pulling that arm back. Keep rotating as you reach back. Keep rotating, keep rotating. When you're rotating, keep going until you land with your hand by your hip. Your pinky is forward and your thumb is behind you. And then we're gonna reverse that, pull it back. Once you hit that sticking point, you're gonna unwind, pull that arm up, bicep lands by your ear, and then bring it across. We're gonna do 3 of these. Make sure as you're doing this, you're not flaring that rib cage back. Pull those ribs down. As you reach back, make sure you're not rotating your chest. So if you're to stay at the side, my chest is pointed forward the whole time here. Keep rotating, good. And we got one more. Palm faces up. Bicep by your ear, rotate out. Keep rotating as you reach back. Pinky lands facing forward, thumb is back, palm is out. And then reverse it, unwind. Come up and around. And down. Perfect. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Palm is up. Bring it across your body. Bicep by your ear. Rotate. Keep rotating as you reach. Keep rotating as you reach. Palm faces out, and then we reverse. Good. Keep practicing that irradiation. Everything else in your body stays tight. Good. And we got one more. Elbow stays straight the whole time. Beautiful, nice. Then we're gonna move on to our wrists. So you're gonna grab onto our wrist just to kind of help immobilize it a little bit. A lot of times what happens is when you're working through your wrist, your forearm likes to get involved. So instead of just moving through your wrist, you're also moving through your forearm, which is not what we want. We want to just work through that wrist here. So you're going to hold on to it, self-immobilize it here. You're going to point your fingers down, point them in, keep pointing them in as you come up, come out to the side. Notice that going out is a little less, so don't try and overextend it there because you're going to get that forearm involved. Come out, down, and around. Good. Notice that your forearm isn't moving here. It's okay if your circles are small. 3 going one direction. 3 going the other direction, and then we'll switch sides. Perfect, nice. And I'll move down to our hip. I'm gonna lay sideways. As you're laying sideways, make sure you're not splaying those hips open. We don't want our hips to face towards the ceiling. We also don't want them to point down towards your bed. So keep your hips pointed forward. If you had little flashlights on the end of your hip bones, they would stay pointing forward the whole time here. That bottom leg can be bent or straight, whatever gives you the most stability. And then this free hand can be wherever you want it to be in order to kind of lock you in. So we just want to move through the hip. We don't want to be moving through the upper body or through that lower body. So you're going to take your knee up, flex it towards the chest as high as you can get it. Once you get to that sticking point, you're going to bring it out to the side. So your knee is now pointed up towards the ceiling. Once you hit that sticking point, you're gonna rotate that knee in. It's gonna come down a little bit, kick that foot back, and then bring your knee to your knee. Then reverse it, kick that knee back. Once you hit that sticking point, open it up, knee points up towards the ceiling, and then you're bringing it forward and down. Straighten out, reset, same thing, 3 times here. Switching directions when we get to the bottom. Brace through your core. Good. The only thing moving is that hip joint. We don't want our pelvis to rotate. So focus on that. You could even put your hand on your hip to make sure that it doesn't move. Cool. And then we'll switch sides. Same thing here. Bringing that knee up. Open it out to the side. Rotate it. Bring that knee down. Reset. Kick it back. Open it out. Bring that knee up towards your chest and down. One more. Perfect, nice. And then we're going to move to our knee. So your shin is actually able to rotate a little bit within that knee. You can see that. So it's not your ankle moving. That can move much. This is your shin. So I like to hold on to my shin just so you can kind of feel that rotation of your shin. You're going to take your same side arm, wrap it underneath, grab onto that bicep. Your free hand's going to hold on to that shin. So holding on to that shin, we're going to flex our foot up, rotate that shin out. Once you feel your shin stop rotating, don't move your foot out more. So I don't care about your ankle rotation here. We're just focusing on that shin. So rotate it out. Once you feel your shin stop, you're going to kick that foot up, rotate that shin in. Again, stop moving that foot once you feel your shin stop. Bring it back down, rotate it out, kick it up, rotate it in, bring it down. One more this direction, kick it out, bring it up, rotate it in and down. Then we'll reverse that. So staying in, kick it up, rotate that shin out, bring it down, in, up, out, down, focusing on moving through that shin, moving through that knee. Cool. Same thing on the other side. Outside hand hooks under, grab onto that bicep, feel that shin. Flex your foot up, rotate in, kick it up, rotate out, bring it down, in, up, out, down, in, up, out, down, then reverse, keep it out, up, in, down, out, up, in, down, out, up, in, and down. Good. Now we're going to move through our ankle. So practice a little inversion, eversion here, like you're doing this with your foot. So we're going to add rotation to that. Come down, out, invert, evert. Good. 3 going one direction. 3 going the other direction. We are locked in this position so that the movement's just coming from that ankle joint. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Hug it under. Three going one direction, and then we'll reverse it. 3 going the other direction. exercise. And then we're gonna finish off two things. We're gonna start with a segmented roll cat-cow through our spine. So you're gonna start in a tabletop position. Get that cat position, tuck your hips under, press your hips up toward, or press your spine up towards the ceiling. Eyes look at that belly button. And then reverse it, belly drops down, hips curl up, eyes look up. So find these two kind of extremes. If you've never done this before, maybe check yourself out in a video. So if you can see that you look like a U and then you look like an arc. And then from here, we're gonna try and do this one vertebrae at a time. So from this cow position, you're gonna tuck your hips under. Think about climbing up through that spine. So we're just focusing on that lower spine, curls under, mid spine, then it gets to our upper spine, and then your neck. Then you land in this position, then we reverse it, starting with those hips again, curl those hips under. Mid spine, upper spine, head and neck. We'll go again. Trying to move one vertebrae at a time. Awesome. And then the actual last one we're going to do is our toes. Point this down so we can see it. Okay, so you're going to have all toes down. We're going to lift just your big toes up, set your big toes down. Lift just your big toes up, set your big toes down. Do this 5 times total. And then we're going to lift just your little toes up, set them back down. Just your little toes up, set them back down. 5 times here. Then you're going to lift all your toes up. Set just your big toe down, all toes up. Set just your big toe down, all toes up, just your big toe down. Then all toes up, just your little toes down, all toes up, just your little toes down. 5 times here. Awesome. Perfect, you guys. Nice work. That was your morning routine.